and Interim Chief Adam Henney to discuss the current status of the investigation. Before they come up to speak, I'd like to emphasize a couple of things. First and foremost, our law enforcement and our first responders are heroes. That is true for the officers who are on site as off-duty detail, for those who responded to the scene to ensure the safety of everyone nearby, for those who are working nonstop overnight through the morning up until right now to deliver justice, as well as all the medical staff who worked to save lives. Second, this is a dark moment for our community. It's horrific. It's unconscionable. And I understand the fear and the trauma that so many in our community are experiencing right now. We're talking about a large, open crowd expecting to enjoy their night peacefully. And instead, an unimaginable tragedy occurs due to senseless gun violence. This is not and cannot be acceptable. Our police and our partners have a job to do as the investigation continues. They and our city leaders understand the responsibility that we have to do everything it takes to ensure that there is justice, to be present in the community, and to make sure the resources and tactics are there to protect our residents. And we are also committed to providing updates to all of you as we get more information. Our entire city's hearts and focus are with the victims and their loved ones during their recovery. This is a challenging day for our community, a challenging day for the region. But together we will continue to fight for public safety and continue to hold these violent aggressors accountable. I'll now bring up City Manager Cheryl Long.
Good afternoon. Like all of us, I'm heartbroken to witness such a senseless act of violence. But unfortunately, I am not shocked. So many of us in America are in a similar state of unease, not wondering if a shooting like this will occur, but when. The stress, the exhaustion, the confusion, they are constant. That moment when your heart drops because it's happening again is something we're all terrifyingly used to by now. I can only thank God that no one was killed. Our Cincinnati police officers, fire and EMS, and all other first responders who rushed to the scene are heroes of the highest order. Time and time again, they run towards chaotic and dangerous situations like this to protect us. Their work saved lives last night in its ultimate act of public service. Thank you, Interim Chief Henney, Chief Frank McKinley, and thank you to every single CPD officer and fire staff who jumped without hesitation into this unthinkable case. Our officers are working at top speed to understand the facts, interview witnesses and victims, and piece together the crucial elements of this investigation. When that work is complete, they will move just as quickly to bring any and all perpetrators to justice. That is what CPD does. They do it no matter the circumstance. They do it using every innovative and problem-solving resource at their disposal. And they do it with the full support of me and the city administration. Unfortunately, right now, they are doing it on very little sleep, and I'm very grateful for them. We are very limited on confirmed information right now, but one thing is absolutely clear. There's no need for a deadly firearms to be crowded into a music venue late at night. I want to reiterate what I've said time and time again. If you have a gun, your top priority needs to be responsible ownership. Anything less is actively putting our entire community in danger. A responsible gun owner would be as appalled as we are to hear of last night's brazen violence. A responsible gun owner understands that deadly weapons have no place in large crowds and at entertainment venues. A responsible gun owner looks at a situation like this and is as furious as we are, because word gets around. People know who is dangerous. People know who has a gun and shouldn't. Responsible gun owners are not running to circles that would fire in a crowd of people. If you own a gun, we need this responsible gun owner to be you. If you cannot comply with these simple rules, you are complicit in the violence, period. When firearms get into the wrong hands and when gun owners are lax with protocols that stand between us and deadly chaos, that's when the unthinkable happens. There is no excuse. Guns are gasoline to the flames of violence. They amplify the destruction and overrule any sense of resolution. Gun owners are responsible for keeping their dangerous weapons far away from people and venues where they have no place. Please help us prevent more senseless violence. Stand with us and say that this careless treatment of human life is not acceptable in our city. Never has been, never will be. Join us to protect our neighbors, our families, and our fellow Cincinnatians. I also want to remind everyone, the city invests in helping families and individuals navigate gun violence. Like the incredible work of CPD's Victim Assistance Liaison Unit, led by Karen Runze. Karen and her team are the ones who step up and help when everything feels like it's falling apart. They help victims and families and their communities make sense of violent acts, as well as other crucial support for often difficult day-to-day procedures that victims never anticipate needing to deal with. I am also grateful to the Hope and Shield Network at UC Health and Cincinnati Children's, which activates to provide victims of gun violence who are admitted to the hospital connections to social services and wraparound care as a standard component of treatment. Between the incredible work of CPD and the network we've built to respond to violence, I am confident that we will see justice swiftly served in this case. At the same time, the resources we have are made even stronger by the support of people who know something we don't. If you have information about this crime, if something about this is sounding an alarm about someone you know, please do the responsible thing and talk to the police. We cannot be safe if we protect the people who harm us. Again, I thank God that no one was killed in last night's shooting, and I'm eternally grateful to the first responders who put their lives on the line to protect our city. Thank you. And now we will have Interim Chief Henney.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like the mayor and the city manager said, first off, I am so thankful that no one lost their lives during this horrific event early this morning. This is a tragedy that is going to be investigated to our fullest abilities, and I'm very confident we're going to find those who are responsible and bring them to justice. Secondly, once again, for those officers and those firefighters that responded to this incident, I need you to think about, one moment there you are doing your job and you're having an event that is extremely peaceful, just like all the other events that happen in our city that are extremely peaceful. And then in a blink of an eye, we're having something at this level, a critical incident at this level, that you have to immediately respond to and fall back on your training. And it just shows you how great our first responders are in this city, police and fire, our medics, everyone that's involved in this, because immediately all of these resources, all of our training take effect, and we're there, and I'm confident it's because of their rapid response and their dedication to duty that no one lost their life this morning. And finally, before I get into some of the specifics of what occurred, please understand, like the mayor and the city manager said, this is a very complex investigation. I need to ensure that I keep the integrity of this investigation in order to make sure that we bring these individuals in custody and hold them accountable. So I'm going to be very limited, extremely limited, in the questions I'm going to be able to answer today. But as you're aware, around 1 a.m., shots ran out inside of 4343 Kellogg Avenue. I believe it's Riverview Live nightclub. There was about 500-600 individuals there. Everything was peaceful at that moment. Leading up to that, we had detail officers that were working the parking lot and the perimeter like we normally do for any type of liquor establishment. Once those shots were fired, immediate resources throughout the city were brought in. Resources that weren't even working were brought in. Typically, shootings are investigated at the district level, but due to the complexity of this investigation, the size of the crime scene inside, the amount of victims, we ordered that our criminal investigation section come in with their criminalists to process this crime scene and conduct the interviews. We currently have 9 victims who have non-life-threatening injuries. We are still processing the scene. We are still interviewing the victims. We are still interviewing witnesses. And like I stated earlier before, we are going to bring whatever resources we can in, whatever we need to do to find out who
or persons were responsible for this incident. I really do not have any more that I can provide you at this time, but I'd be more than happy to field questions.
Can you tell us any sort of a suspect that you are looking for or suspects?
I cannot at this time, ma'am.
Have you recovered any weapons?
I cannot give any of that information out about the investigation.
Are there any history of incidents like this at that venue or anything close to it?
No, there is not.
You said individuals in custody, so that's to say there were 2 gunmen in this incident? At
I
least?
never said if there was one or more. We are investigating that.
What were the security measures inside? I remember talking with metal detectors for something like this to happen, for a gun to get inside in the first place.
This is still part of all of what we are investigating because we need to find out how many, whatever amount of guns that were brought into this place. So that is still something that we are investigating, but I can't release that either at this time.
Chief, do you know what kind of weapon, what kind of firearm was used?
I cannot release that at this time, sir.
There's been multiple high-profile shootings lately. Privy, as an instance, 7 people were shot in November. Then Spotlight Lounge, now you have another high-profile shooting. Is there anything that's connected with these bystanders getting hurt in these incidents, or anything that's leading to this situation happening?
What I can tell you is I am very proud of how our officers respond to these situations and how we investigate these incidences, and we're going to continue to provide all the resources that the city manager and mayor provides the police department to hold these people accountable.
Piggybacking on that question, this might be a question for the mayor, but yeah, like you had incidents at Club Privé, 7 people shot 3 weeks back in like November. We've had several high-profile incidents. I know Chief DG was put on investigation for following some of that, and now you have one of the largest mass shooting incidents, according to Councilwoman Owens in her statement today, in Cincinnati's history. So what is your plan to reduce violence and crime?
Is that a question you wanted to answer? You want me to, sir?
I'm happy to take it. The high-profile incidents that you mentioned are absolutely tragic and must be stopped. The through line between a lot of those instances that you're talking about, and we'll leave this most recent shooting aside because, again, it's being investigated and I can't comment on the specifics, but the through line for those previous shootings were people getting into an argument, having ready access to guns, and then shooting indiscriminately. So you ask what, if anything, can be done about it. Well, we can continue to have off-duty details at these establishments, as we have both this establishment from the shooting this morning and also in the previous. We can continue to do high visibility. We can continue to partner with the Highway Patrol to crack down on illegal guns, as well as our partnerships with DOJ, ATF, and FBI. But if people have easy access to guns across the board, and if they get into arguments, and instead of dealing with those arguments in ways short of mortal death, it's very, very difficult to stop that from happening. This brings up the real conversation around whether or not it is too easy to get a gun in our community, whether or not our laws make it so easy to get a gun in our community that a lot of people have guns, coupled with the fact that they refuse to deal with disagreements peacefully, to the extent that they not only refuse to deal with disagreements peacefully, but they immediately run to mortal danger. As you can imagine, our law enforcement leaders, our city leaders are very, very focused on what we can do to prevent people from getting access to guns, holding people accountable who engage in this kind of violence, but it is a very challenging issue to solve.
For the people that were shot, are any of them being looked at as suspects at all?
Once again, as I stated before, I cannot release any more information about the investigation.
And just to get clarity on just one more thing, UC Health said that they had 1 person in critical condition. I believe you said 9 people were facing non-life-threatening injuries. Just want to make sure that we have verification on.
Yeah, they are in everyone's in stable condition.
Thank you. Chief, I have a quick question. Thank you. Do you know what the fire code occupancy for the residents?
That's a question for the fire department. Okay, thank you. So I don't have an email for Spectrum.
Even like our main.
Yeah, that's what I need. Can you write that down for me on the back of there? Just so when I say notifies out, you all are included in it.
Shift you work. About 8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Really? I would hate that shift.